to Yes, I Am the Veteran, hosted by Brandy Pett.
Welcome. Good evening. Hopefully everybody's had a great last week. I know that a lot of people are running around, especially with the holidays coming up and everything. I know for me, I felt like it was just literally January. So here we are in November. Wow. So I'm pretty impressed that I've been running around crazy person my whole life. But this year is so much more than I ever realized. And with Thanksgiving, really, like I like to think of things that I'm thankful for. And a lot of times I do take things for granted. And I definitely wanted to welcome on some of our sisters that we've had before. Now, unfortunately, I could not have on all of our guests, but I was very thankful that we were able to have some lovely ladies join us tonight. And I will bring them out all one by one. And we did have a great Vet Fest out in Houston. If anybody is wanting to continue to donate, if maybe they missed it, they want to donate some toys for their toy drive, please go to sergeantrecords.com. And you can definitely check out their site as well as any artists that might be interested in reaching out to them. But we will go ahead and bring on our very first guest. And this is Miss Carolina Hernandez. Hi, sis. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm here. Living the dream. Isn't that what we're supposed to say?
Good to see you again.
It's always great to see you. And I love that every time we see you, there's an entirely different workroom behind you.
Gotta switch it up, you know?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, you have like a thread, like almost like a flag or banner happening behind you, and you've organized everything by color. You've been busy. So the last time we had you on, you were just starting to get ready to do some things when we did our cross podcast with Miss Terace. Did you want to maybe fill everybody in maybe on some of the things that you've been up to since the last time you've been on the show?
Yes, so it's good to be back here again. We had a great event here in LA with veterans showcasing their artwork back in September. A lot of veterans from the LA area were displaying their artwork here at the Bob Hope Patriotic Hall in downtown LA. And then I also did a fashion show with the San Diego Ballet. It was a partnership in San Diego, so it was great. You know, this time there were dancers walking on point. You know, wearing my more like my costumes for the show. And then I just did I did a fashion show in Hollywood showcasing my Courage collection. And this time I had some menswear, which was a little different this time. And this past weekend, the two Veterans Day, we did a parade in San Diego. It was amazing.
I saw that, and if it's okay, I'd like to show the reel that you had from that weekend. All right, so let me go ahead and show that now. So I love that you're working on like men's lines as well as the women's lines right now, and so I love seeing like the variety that you have for uniforms and the different designs with the uniforms. So this was Veterans Day.
Yes, that was the parade in San Diego, and it was amazing. I didn't know San Diego had that many veteran organizations, and the support from the community was great. The VFW was there, also the American Legion, all these veteran organizations. It was pretty cool. Everybody was so happy to be back, being amongst other veterans. So it was so fun.
It's always fun to watch, like, and to see like your events and your designs. I mean, it's just beautiful always. I love the cuts, and they're always different. They're never the same. You never see the two of the same of your designs ever.
We get a lot of compliments from the audience.
I can imagine. So, like, how did it go with your menswear fashion show that you had recently?
So for the show, it was actually an event supporting Bienestar, nonprofit organization in Hollywood. They helped the LGBT community. So it was a very unique event. Telemundo was part of it, also a lot of city officials. And, I usually bring mainly female models, right? So they requested, they were like, hey, can you make sure you bring menswear? And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, all right, then I'm going to have to make some different kind of menswear, right? Because it's not obviously they're not going to show up in uniform. So my mom kept laughing because she's like, they keep getting smaller and smaller, the best.
I mean, I wasn't minding though. Those are some pretty amazing looking models. Like, high five.
Honestly, the best part is like two of them are veterans, the other ones are active duty.
Wow, nice, even better. Like, okay, DD 214. Like, Nice. Like, let me get my weight up.
Yes, and of course they were the sensation of the event. They did a great job too.
Yeah, like it's funny. Like you could see some of the guys are like, I'm holding this flag, she's making me, but like they like their walk was on point. Like yeah. And so, do you have any upcoming events? I know that you've been very, very, very busy, and you've been doing like almost a fashion show a week or pretty close.
It feels like it.
Do you get any rest for the holidays?
Usually these are the busiest months because costumes, dresses, events. But I'm gonna be doing an event with Bunker Labs. Actually, it's a nonprofit
Nice.
here in LA. They give entrepreneurship training, and they're just close to my heart. They're always promoting what we're doing as veterans, and business owners. So I'm gonna be doing an event with them here in LA, and I'm sure for the holidays something is gonna come out. Sometimes it's last minute, and I'm prepping for next year. I have 2 fashion shows coming up next year, so kind of like sewing, making new collections for that.
I tried to have a what would Catalina do moment because I was given a very big shirt and it was like an MRE like kind of like t-shirt and I was like, that's hilarious and I want to wear this shirt, but it's huge on me. So I was like, what would she do? I don't have my sewing machine, and I'm like, I don't have time to get to the tailor. So I was like researching like ways I could cut it and do like the no stitch like sewing together of it, and it actually turned out well. But I think I made it a crop top. I may have cut it a little short.
It looked really nice on you, though. I like that.
Thanks. Yeah, I really liked it. I was like, we might actually really need to make this into a tank. Like, kind of made this into a MacGyver halter, but it works. Like, I'm here for it. I'll be meal ready to eat any day. And speaking of meals ready to eat, so I'm going to bring out our second guest for tonight, Miss Kimberly Burkett, one of our favorite Marine sisters. Hey, sis, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So, for those of you that don't know, Miss Kimberly Burkett is the mind behind the MRE makeup palette. Mm-hmm. And she has some, I love her makeup every time. Like, I love her lipsticks, even like the 29 Palms, the Montezuma Red. Mm-hmm. I really like how much detail you put to the names. And even like with the Gel Queen plot, I was just looking at it and I was just like, I'm here for the names, like the Grumpy Husband.
Yeah, I'm glad you got it. I just sent it out like last week or so. I'm glad you got it.
Yep. I just got it yesterday and I was like, yes. And it's perfect because I go to drive tanks and so you know me, I'm not normal. And so I'm graduating and I'm like, I want to take graduation photos, but I don't want to do the same as everyone else. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to our friends at Drive Tanks. And so I'm going to be using a Vietnam era flamethrower with a BD print body dress and my cap and gown and regalia. And then I'm going to take some with it, without it. And I actually just got some paracord to use to lace my leg.
Nice.
So it'll be an interesting aesthetic. I can't wait to see the photos. I hope I don't like trip on a heel and like burn an eyebrow off or something. Probably be fine. I feel reasonably safe. But so Kim, I know you right now you're getting ready for your Black Friday because you are going to be reopening or expanding it because I know you've got a lot of stuff that you're going to be putting on display on your shop that's new. Is there anything that we should look out for, maybe that's new, or is there a certain day that we should look for to check you out?
Well, what I'm trying to start a Badass Beauties skin line with like body oils, body butters, body scrubs, things of that sort, and I'll be hand making them. Now, it takes a lot to make these things. I've never really done it before. I've tried, but I really want to bring that to Badass Beauties. The one thing I do have right now is body oils. I'm just waiting on my labels to get here so I can put them on my bottles. So hopefully that will be here in time. So if it is, that will be the only new product that I will be bringing. And then we'll still have the MRE palettes, the collab, and eyeliners and the lipsticks if they get here in time, hopefully. Things are taking time, but that's what I should have for Black Friday.
Nice. Awesome. And is there like any like upcoming like events or anything that you're going to be doing with the actual page itself for the brand?
I'm trying to rebrand a little bit just to have more of a cohesive look across all of my social medias. Other than that, I don't have any new events or anything coming up. Just kind of focusing on rebranding and reopening for Black Friday.
Awesome.
having like things as I go along, like a new Christmas launch, New Year's launch. So as time goes, I do want to bring new products, so I have things to launch, more often.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see some more of the nudes. I know I'm going to be sending that to a lot of people. A lot of people have been asking me about it.
That is it's closed right now, so you won't see anything on there. My Instagram probably has more things that you can see. The nudes is the bestseller, but it won't be restocked just yet.
Yep. And anybody that's listening out there, you just go to badassbeautiesco.com and you can definitely check her out, especially on Black Friday and beyond. She does sell out pretty fast, so it's pretty amazing makeup. I love the pigment. It don't need much to make a really amazing look on your face. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we're going to, last but not least, I wanted to bring out to the stage our last guest. Hi, Terace. How are you doing?
Hi, ladies. How are y'all doing?
It's always good when you two ladies are on, or you three, I should say. And so the last time we were all together, Terace and Carolina and I were on. It was been a while ago, and we've had a lot of updates since. Did you want to fill us in on any of your updates?
Yes. Okay. So a lot has happened. That's why I'm laughing. So I was crowned twice. So I was crowned Miss International World United States. And then most recently, I was crowned Miss International World. So I competed against 22 other women from around the world. We had some women from India, from Colombia, from Ukraine, from the Bahamas. And so it was just such a wonderful experience. We had our pageant in Florida. So recently won that. And then right after, on Veterans Day, came out with my book, No Longer Silent. So it's a memoir about overcoming trauma. And I've just been going nonstop. So it's been great, especially with the crowning and also with my book coming out, because I want to help a lot of sexual assault survivors. So, it's been a lot of good that's been happening. So.
And so what was something that you didn't know prior to being crowned, like that you know now? Like, is the crown really as heavy as they say?
It really is, actually. So no joke. I was I forgot to mention that I was in the first Veterans Day parade in DC. It's really strange. DC has never had a Veterans Day parade.
Wow.
And they had the first one on Sunday, and I was a part of it. So that was really cool. Well, I was doing a live stream while I was in the middle of the parade, and I was telling folks like, hey, I know this crown looks great and I love it, but it's actually really painful. I'm like, it digs into your ears and it'll like cut in your ears. Like, your ears and stuff will bleed and stuff. But anyway, so it was great, but it's kind of heavy and it's really pretty. It's really pretty. I'll take that. But that's one thing I didn't notice or realize until I got it. And just all the opportunities, it makes it's a great segue for conversation. So when you go out and people see you with that, they come to you and they want to ask you questions. And I'm used to being the reporter. I'm used to going to them and asking the questions. So it's actually very refreshing to have people come up and ask me questions, and I get to kind of share my story. So that's one of the things I love most about it. And the camaraderie. Like, we talk about camaraderie in the military, but when you do these pageants with these women that you're competing with, you end up becoming sisters with them. So you're building a sisterhood in that sense as well. So there's a lot of camaraderie there too.
And so tell us a little bit more about your book. So your book just released on Veterans Day, right?
Yes. So I'll show you. This is my memoir, No Longer Silent. It's about 140 pages. It's got like a bunch of photos, like colorful photos, legal documents. So like some of my certificates and stuff like that. And basically, I released it on Veterans Day because that was the 10-year anniversary of me being raped in the military and me surviving and overcoming it. And so it was very important for me to have it come out that day so I could have good memories on Veterans Day, and also be able to help other people who may have been assaulted in the military or assaulted as civilians or as children. So my book covers 3 different things. It covers when I was raped as a child. It covers me being in a domestic violent relationship where my ex-husband basically tried to kill me. And then when I joined the military, being raped in the military. So I have experience in nothing to brag about, and it's nothing to be happy about, but experience in domestic violence relationships, military sexual trauma, and trauma as a child. And so basically this book reaches out to anybody that may fit in that demographic. it also reaches out to those who have never been assaulted and kind of educates them on, if you have nieces, nephews, there might be signs that they're giving off that something's going on with them, that someone's messing with them. So how do you approach that? How do you talk to them? What are those signs? And so it's really helpful for those who have never had that happen to them, but it shows them how to protect themselves and how to look out for each other to make sure it's not happening to any of their loved ones or their friends. And so I'm just really excited to release this, so that people who have gone through it will feel like they're being heard. And hopefully through my story, it will empower them to speak up and want to share their stories and take their power back. Because as long as you're not talking about those things, one, it's eating you up inside. And two, when we don't speak up about the incidents that happen to us, the perpetrators can keep doing it. And I give you a perfect example. This just came out tonight. Cassie, the singer, she just accused Sean P. Diddy of raping and assaulting her when they were together. And so now, she's going to have a lot of the spotlight on her, but I'm so proud of her and I commend her for coming forward about that, especially with someone who's so famous and popular. There had to have been something scary for her to come out and, have people think it was her fault or judge her and dissect their whole relationship. But what she's doing is instrumental and just phenomenal, because we have to have more of our women and men come out about them being assaulted, because the more we speak up, the less power those individuals have to keep doing what they're doing.
And you really touched on something that really isn't talked about enough, and that's males that, unfortunately are trauma survivors themselves. And there's really that double standard that, as males, that's not something that you can come forward about and you can talk to. And I mean, with women as well, women many times, especially in the service, it can be taken and held against you, and it's not your fault. And it was something you survived. It was an incident that you had to have, unfortunately, and you don't want to have, but it happened to you, and you have to survive and fight a new normal. In your book, what would you say, I guess not in your book, but what would you say advice that you would have to somebody that would be maybe questioning going forward, or maybe not sure if they should tell somebody, or really just, they don't feel like they could be heard or anyone would believe them?
Well, I can say, for one, I know firsthand how that feels. As a child who was assaulted, my assaulter told me, tell whoever you want, no one's going to believe you. And no one did. And so, then I became an adult. And when the incident happened with me as an adult, I for a week didn't report it, because at that time I was anchor in Japan. Everyone knew me in all of Japan, all of Korea, and most of Europe, because of the anchoring and the radio shows and stuff I was doing. And so I was terrified to come forward, because I'm like, basically all of the Asia Pacific region is going to know my business, and I'm going to be judged and I'm going to be retaliated against. And that's exactly what happened. However, I know that sounds all horrible, and people are like, well, why would I ever want to come forward? The reason why I came forward is because I realized, one, I am worth more than what this person did to me. I didn't deserve any of that, nor should I be ashamed of the actions of someone else when I'm the survivor. So for me, what made me finally come forward was the thought that he could do this to other people if I don't say something now. And then I ended up finding out later on that he had done it to other people. So for me, it was the hardest thing I think I ever have to do, or ever had to do in my life, was come forward and report him. But I'm so glad I did. It was a rough couple years, but I'm really glad I did, because I feel like I'm so much stronger now. I have so much more respect and love for myself and confidence with myself, to not let someone abuse me and then let them get away with it and just try to sweep it under the rug and just go, oh, well, I'll just ignore it because I don't want to deal with the retaliation. I've grown so much as a person because of it. And I think, and I say this to people, God allowed that to happen to me as a kid and as an adult, because he knew that I would be able to survive it, and that I would take it and turn it around to try to help other people who may not have that strength to do that, who may not have that voice, who may be scared to come forward. And so I would just urge anyone, if they're thinking about coming forward, go speak to a counselor. I wouldn't recommend going to family first. I would say go to a counselor first, go to a chaplain, a priest, and get some advice from them, because they'll be the first to try to guide you through that process. And then most importantly, go to a counselor and then go to the police and file your report. But if anyone ever has that situation happen to them and they want someone to speak to, my door is always open. They can easily send me an email. I put that on my website. If they want someone to talk to, I can give them advice on what I did. I'm not a trained professional, so I can't give out medical advice, but I can advise them on things that I've done over the years to help me heal. And if I can help them heal, if I can help them feel heard, if I can help them on their journey to take their power back, please, my door is open. And that's what I am here for. I'm here to make sure that they know they are heard. I understand you. I hear you. I believe you. And that's the biggest thing with survivors. They feel like they will not be believed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of women, it's like, or men, anyone really that finds themselves in the situation, they don't feel that their voice is heard, or the consequences of them voicing what happened will far outweigh the reporting and, like, you know, potentially their prosecution. But unfortunately, it does not always happen as that. And just being your own best advocate, it's absolutely important. And I mean, absolutely, I can share your page now. Let me go ahead and do that.
Oh, thank you.
So anybody that is wanting to check out Miss Terace's book, No Longer Silent, you can check out her page and order it on her official No Longer Silent page. So it's going to be https teracegarnier.com/limited-edition-only-here. But you can order the book on here. You can reach out if you want it. You have any questions for Terace, upcoming events. You can even order it as well. Did you want to add anything, Terace?
No, I just want people to know that my door is open. They don't have to order the book. They can go and just want to reach out to me. I've had so many men come and try to talk to me about what happened to them. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sometimes people just want to feel heard. They just want to share their story. And maybe that's all they need to heal, is to be able to just get it out. That's what I'm here for. So if you want to buy the book, amazing, great. I appreciate it. But also, too, just head over to my website, shoot me an email, and, you know, I'll get back to you as soon as possible, because I'm hoping to eventually become a life coach. So that's what I want to do. I want to help people with their healing journey. So I want people to feel comfortable enough to do that.
That's so important too. I mean, being your own best advocate, you know, and just having support, you know, is very important. And that's why I very much wanted to have you ladies on tonight, because of the fact that I love seeing women support women. It doesn't have to be just veterans supporting veterans, but just women supporting each other, especially, you know, right now. Like, there's so much going on. So many people have so much on their plate, and many people don't know the burdens that a lot of people face in their personal lives. So it's very, very important. I guess with that, I wanted to kind of, I guess I'd ask a question to everybody. What do you guys think that is the most important, focus mindset around the holidays? Like, what are things like that you feel are important to keep in mind? Carolina, did you want to go first?
You said what is important to think about the holidays, during the holidays. I think the biggest thing, especially for the veteran community, is to reach out to one another. I know you're being a great influence, you know, when I'm dealing with certain things, or like when I'm like a little bit overwhelmed. I know getting a call from one of our veterans, it literally makes a big difference. So I started doing that too, reaching out to other vets, kind of like checking on them. And at the same time, you know, like just to kind of like follow up and see what everybody's doing. You know, I think we have a huge network, and we are the ones who are going to need to kind of like make the noise to kind of support each other. So I think that's the biggest thing, is not to think that we are alone and we don't have any support. I think we have to change the mindset and think like we have a network, we have a tribe, and we just got to keep, you know, reaching out to one another. That's just, for me, that's what has been working. And I notice when I talk to other veterans, we get so empowered. So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. What about you, Kimberly?
For me, mine would be do whatever brings you peace. So I know around the holidays, people tend to say, like, be with family. But sometimes your family, like your blood relatives, don't bring you peace. Sometimes they're triggering. Sometimes, you know, they bring out your insecurities. So whatever brings you peace and whatever feels like home to you, whether that be at home by yourself, Not necessarily, sometimes that could be sad, but if that brings you peace, then do that. If, hanging out with your best friend brings you peace, then do that. But don't feel pressure to be around family just because that's what people say you're supposed to do. Do whatever brings you peace.
Yeah. Mental health is important, especially around the holidays. There's a lot of on a lot of people's minds. So absolutely. And what about you, Miss Terace?
I would say any day. It doesn't just have to be the holidays, but any day. And it kind of ties into what Kimberly said. Make time for yourself. Even if it's just an hour, you want to do something you want to do. I want to go journal. I want to go for a walk outside. I want to play with the dog. Just make sure you make an hour for yourself, because I feel like we, especially as adults, and we get wrapped up in adulting and we forget to make time for ourselves. And it ties into what Kimberly said. That will help with that inner peace. You got to make time for yourself. So even if it's like, hey, I'm going to go run myself a bubble bath and have some nice music going, do something like that, or journal. I have over 300 plants in my house. So one of the things I like to do, I like to go water them. And while I water them, I talk to them, hey, beautiful, how you doing today? Look how tall you're getting. My dog's looking at me like she done lost her mind, but it's cool because I'm happy. So that's all that matters. But just make time for you, even if it's just an hour.
Yeah, that's great advice. And especially, doing what makes you happy, mental health, it's important right now, especially, right now, a lot of people, depression can really get to you, right now. And so just doing things that, make you happy, that bring you peace, if it's not necessarily being at your family's, arguing with your sister at Thanksgiving dinner, maybe do something that makes you happy, have a Friendsgiving, or maybe go later or something. But, just do something that's a little bit, for you. A lot of us, we tend to put ourselves last. So sometimes it's good to kind of keep ourselves in the forefront and just have somebody that you can reach out to if you're not feeling okay. If you have a therapist, that you be counselor, it could be a good friend that you're like, hey, I'm not in a good headspace. Hey, you need to talk to somebody. It's always good to have somebody that you can speak with, if you're not feeling right, or if you just need to reach out to somebody. I like to try to reach out to a lot of people around the holidays, especially because of the fact that, sometimes we tend to self-isolate, and it's always, you never know too, like how important your message could be to somebody in their life and what they're going through, because a lot of us, we don't know what everyone else is going through. We're just kind of like trying to wade through our own stuff. Right. So sometimes it's always just kind of helpful to reach out and just kind of touch somebody appropriately with consent. But yes, but just say hello. What are you doing? Remember that one time in the ambulance? Here you go. I had to say that. Now it sounded weird. Okay. I'm not laughing at that, but you know what I meant, so to speak. But the pilots used to always say that, so to speak, like everything was so to speak. So like they couldn't even like say like the most basic terms because they would try to turn it into something else. But really though, with the holidays, it's really just like, sometimes like your friends are your family. Mm-hmm. Like I've had some of my most entertaining holidays really just cutting up with my friends, as overseas even. And, for those of us, don't forget that we do have active duty brothers and sisters that are serving. If people do want to reach out and write letters, holiday cards, things like that, it really means a lot. I remember how excited I was being stationed overseas to get a card or like a little letter from home. So it's always nice to do that. And there's lots of different organizations that we're going to be having on. So definitely please keep posted, and we will definitely update you. And so what is your guys' favorite and least favorite thing that you guys like to have around the holidays? Catalina, what's yours? What's your like least favorite thing someone offers you?
As a gift or
no, as a food, like at the table if they're serving it.
I like everything. It's just hard.
Like everything.
I'm one of those that likes to try everything, just so I can say I had it.
You're the one that politely puts in your napkin, are you? Like that one's burnt. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's certain foods, especially when you go to places, families where they're international and they have all these weird looking foods. Like I still like to try them anyways. But
oh yeah,
you have to just kind of experiment sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
So for
Uh,
me, oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna ask. Sorry,
Okay.
I just didn't want
I
to.
think we're going like in our same
Yep,
order.
that's right.
So for me, my family is Jamaican. So every time we have Thanksgiving at home, I love all the food. So when I'm around more of American food, the one thing I tend to not like, I've tried it, to piggyback off Catalina, I try it, but I don't like it. And now I know I don't like it, so I'll move it along. It's cranberry.
Cranberries not for you. Oh,
And not a fan. I tried it though. I gave it a try. I was like,
Wait, so can I ask, so what do you have for Thanksgiving? Because I love Jamaican food, so I'm trying to picture what does a
Right, I'm like-
Jamaican Thanksgiving consist
So
of?
a Jamaican Thanksgiving looks like we have curry goat, oxtails, baked mac and cheese, jerk chicken, a ham. We still have like some of the traditional things like a ham, a turkey, jerk pork, but mainly more of the proteins are always like Jamaican food, like the like I said, jerk pork, jerk chicken, oxtails, curry goat. Then we have rice and peas. Always have a salad and the baked mac and cheese.
You have plantains?
yeah.
Sometimes.
I was like, wait, what?
Sometimes, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta come to your house and have dinner with you, girl. I love
Thinking
it.
the same thing.
Yeah, we both
Are
have to
you
go to the
sorry?
haunted house and get the food.
Oh,
I love that. Oh my gosh. Mm.
my ambulance partner, she was Jamaican, so we'd always like try to bribe her, and so like making oxtail for us since I'm bringing it. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Terace, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good. I was about to talk about how good I really want some Jamaican food.
Right, I'm thinking about it too now.
Like no joke. Like I have a restaurant that's right down the street from me, and I absolutely love them. So I'm like, I know I'm going tomorrow. No, for me, so our family's very mixed. So we have Native American and we have the Black side. So we kind of have a mix of everything. So we have the pumpkin pie, but then we also have the sweet potato pie, right? So we kind of have like a mix of everything. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any foods I don't like because usually my family doesn't really make stuff I don't like. Oh, I will say this. We did have guests come one time and they brought potato salad. Why would this ain't a barbecue? Like I was so confused. I was like, this ain't a barbecue. And then why would you bring that? Anyways, we were thankful for it, but I just didn't eat any of it. And let's see, I would say, what is my favorite dish around Thanksgiving? Okay, so this is strange, but one of the things that my family makes, we make banana pudding. Ooh, and my dad makes it, but he makes it from scratch. So that's probably my favorite part of it because we would eat so much we would get sick, and then we get a little bit better, then we eat some more, and then we get a little sick, and then we eat some more. It's like one of those kind of things. Because it's just so good you can't stop eating it. So I'll probably say that's my favorite dish, which most people are like banana pudding on Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's how we do. We eat banana pudding. So that's
I like the wafers in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So good. Dang, now I want Jamaican food and banana pudding.
Me too. Like I should have been eating.
We gotta stop talking about food. It's too late for me to be eating. Now I want to go get some food.
I gotta go to London for a calendar shoot next month. I get you.
I'm not kidding. I'm gonna end up texting
that
y'all
sushi salty later.
I'm gonna text y'all a photo tomorrow. Like, look, see, I went and got some Jamaican food. I wasn't playing.
Well, I think here being in California, we have a very diverse crowd, especially me being Mexican. I feel like, you know how Mexican families are, right? We have to have the tacos, we have to have the pozole, you know, like it's, you know,
I love
extra.
Yeah.
Tamales?
Mess up that rice too.
Yes.
Yeah, tamales all yes.
Yeah, I could eat those all day. Oh my gosh, those are so good. I love that. Oh yeah, and then you're in California, so holidays are a little bit weirder.
Yes.
You don't get snow and all that unless you're in northern California.
Yes. You get it for like a day and a half, maybe, and then it melts.
We can literally eat seafood in the winter because it's like it's warm.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I did my clinicals in California, and I remember I was excited. My grandma sent me cookies when I was like there for like Christmas. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. But it's like the little things, right? The little tastes of home when you're kind of far away. And I mean, just like having good food with family or friends, you know, it's always fun. And it's really interesting to see holidays all over the world in general because everyone makes such different dishes. So you really never know what you're going to get. And like the traditions are totally different too. Like you think they'd be like the same universally. It's really not that way. Therese, do you do anything special for like around like the holidays, like that specific holiday?
Well, so Thanksgiving, our family, we don't really celebrate Christmas that much. We celebrate Thanksgiving more, but we don't really call it, I guess you could call
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's not really Thanksgiving. We give thanks, but
Yeah.
if that makes sense. But Thanksgiving isn't a good holiday for Native Americans, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
was gonna say that.
we kind of do it our own way. We kind of celebrate our own way, but I think that's one of my favorite things. It's our own mix on how Thanksgiving's done, and just everyone coming together. The food, my grandmother makes zucchini bread. That's not normal. I don't think that's a normal thing, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And, if I'm not there, she'll send it. So, or she'll make these little sugar cookies and stuff. She has cancer. So she goes and makes these for people. And it means even more, because I'm like, Grandma, you should be resting. And she's still thinking about others and doing stuff for other people. But that's who she is. She's just very giving and just always thinking about everyone else. And I think that, to me, just being around family during those times is the most important. And if I can't, I usually try to have a few people over my house, like veterans who don't have a place to go. I think before the pandemic, I did that fairly often. But then once the pandemic hit, I couldn't do it as much. So I'm hoping that this year I might not be able to go back home. So either this year or definitely for Christmas, I'd like to have some veterans over who weren't able to get home, and, just let them come over. We all eat, shoot the breeze, talk about our crazy families,
That's always a story in itself, right? Exactly. I know like a lot of like service members, they have like Operation Thanksgiving here, where you can have like troops that are out at Fort Hood or like Fort Sam, and you can actually sponsor like Lackland, and you can sponsor them for the day, and then you take them, get them a dinner, and take them back. But they have the whole day. So usually I'm like, they do it like E4 Mafia style, and I like pull up, I'll pick them up, and I'm like, all right, because they have to wear their Class A's like the whole day, and I'm like, come on, that's not even fair. Like, you have the wrinkles alone. So I'd be like, as soon as they pull in, I'm like, all right, so we could do this one of two ways. We can go to Walmart right now, and you guys can change us to sweats. I got some hangers hanging for you. And you can hang up everything and be comfortable today, or you could wear a uniform. I won't tell anyone either way, but, I was an airman once, and I understand the importance of being able to be comfortable when you're far from home. And usually, like, their eyes are just like, thank you. You take them to Walmart. Let's get some sweats, kids, and I'll mail it to them usually so they don't get in trouble when they get dropped off. But it's just really, understanding, you were once there. Like, I remember doing clinicals in California at Travis, and I was like, man, I miss my family. Like, I'm tired of being like the base snack pack, because like every time like they would leave, the chow hall, like our dormitories or barracks were like right across the street, so they would try to like pick up the girls on the way back, and we're like, no, man, like we literally just want to sit here, so for me it was just kind of like having that. And it's funny, speaking of grandma, so my daughter has an unofficial grandmother, a great grandmother, Rosie the Riveter. She sent her a Rosie the Riveter themed box. I should have had a video of her. I have a video of her afterwards, but literally she sent her this little box because she wants Aurelia to, like know more about her. And so she sent her this little box, and I've been like holding it for her. I wouldn't open it because I told her no spoilers. And so when she finally got to, and May made sure she put a picture of her on the front of the box on the label at the Harry Connick show doing the Rosie the Riveter pose, like even in like the labels, it was adorable. And when she opened it, it was like Rosie the Riveter exploded inside of that box. I've never seen some of those things. My daughter's pulling out like Rosie the Riveter pens, like little like signs, like headbands. She was wearing the Rosie the Riveter, like she gave her like one of those like stocking caps that was like Rosie. She wore it like the whole weekend. She was like stitched with Rosie the Riveter cap on.
Oh, so cute.
But man, yes, like she loved it. She's like, we can do it. So she's like naming everything Rosie now, and like her dad's super annoyed. I don't care. Because I think he thought I was joking at first. I was like, no, Aurelia knows Rosie the Riveter. Like, she's talked to her many times on Zoom, and she likes to talk to her. And they correspond. And so he's like, yeah, whatever. I was like, no, really? And then she saw the box and, like everything else I've been sending to her teachers and stuff. And so they're like, oh, I guess she's real. She's not Santa. Even though Santa and Rosie the Riveter are coming on December 7th. There is a Marine Santa. If you guys know, there's a Gunny Claus. He's going to be coming on the show in a few weeks. But yes, he was actually just at New York Comic Con.
Is that what?
Yeah, he works with Toys for Tots and a few others as well, if I'm correct. But I think it's great, and I know a lot of people are doing like Reese Across America right now. There's a lot. I like to keep busy, because I tend to be a bit of a loner myself. So I like to kind of keep busy. Like right now, I'm making a bunch of knives in my forge. Believe it or not, I'm like famous knives. So okay, I want to create like, don't laugh at me, guys. So I'm making a cigar like guillotine basically, but it's gonna be like a fixed like knife, like but it chops but I want to make it where it's like it says Lorena on like the wood piece, so it looks like it's her chopping block. See, she gets it.
Get it, girl.
But I'll post pictures. I'll post pictures when I'm done. But yeah, right now I'm doing the knives in with the Forge and Fire Champions Forge actually. So it's actually funny. Like he'll be like busting stuff out like 10 seconds, and I'm like still there 10 years later on my like one knife. I'm like literally, I will die of starvation if I do this as a job full time.
You put lots of love into it. That's okay. It may take you forever, but you put lots of love into it.
A lot of frustration. There's a lot of swearing too. But you get all your frustration in a forge though. Man, you be like the best mood when you leave.
Sounds like therapy.
It really is. It is. Metalworking therapy, yes, ma'am. It is definitely fun. When you come so I know you were talking about coming down next year. When you come down, I'd be happy to have you throw a knife where you can make a bacon flipper, whatever you'd like. The bacon flipper was legit. Like Kimberly saw my bacon flipper. I actually auctioned it off for our Women Veteran calendar. We did a raffle, and I put the bacon flipper I forged in there, and like we made like because I want the Marine or the gentleman, especially the Marine gentleman, to feel left out. So I made a whiskey and bacon basket or whiskey. Yeah, it was a whiskey and jerky basket. Yeah, that's what it was. And I put it in there. Like that way, like no one could say that I didn't include everybody.
That's actually really creative.
Not every. Yeah. And honestly, I really wanted to like win like Kimberly's basket. There's like a super sweet MRE like basket I'll probably dream about. It was like a super swag basket.
Mm-hmm.
I was here for it.
Did it have the? Oh no, it didn't have the nudes in it. I was gonna say if she got
everything but the nudes, man. Everything but the nudes, and it's NOODS, not the nudes you're thinking. But they have like she has like the best colors. Like man, I love all of them. I had too much fun with the nudes palette.
So glad you love it. I can't wait to rock it. I know it's gonna fly off the shelves, but
it always.
Yeah, that's the first one to go every time.
See, I'm excited to try out the new body oils you said you're about to come out with. That's what I'm really intrigued by.
I'm hoping that my labels get here in time so that I can release it for Friday. But it's gonna be a dry body oil, and I made it myself. So it's hydrating, but it doesn't leave your skin like greasy.
Right.
But nice. That's important.
So what's some of the scents you're gonna have?
So the one scent that I made already is warm vanilla sugar. I felt like that well with the seasonal time.
Yeah.
That's all I have right now. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely have to get some as soon as it comes out. Let me know, and I'll definitely order a bottle.
I will definitely let you know.
I like how creative you got with the names.
Right. There was so much thought into the names. Like you putting so much thought into the names, Kim.
Yeah, I actually sat there and I was like on the MRE website and like writing down all the ones that I liked.
I knew it.
Colors and yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for there to be a Skittles one at some point. I'm like, at some point she's gonna have it on there. I know it.
Skittles is on
that
there.
Was currency, man. I was like, is it? I was like, I think it is.
It's in the colorful palette. It's like a blue color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. That is currency in the military. Like seriously. Yeah. Skittles and
I get
M&Ms.
all the candies warm.
Yeah, I had to use the website to name my stuff because all I knew was like the MREs that I had when I was in. You know, like the menus changed.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have things that like the military members who are currently serving could understand too. And so, yeah.
Wait, how have they changed? So I need to know this.
Yeah. They used to have eggs. They used to have powdered eggs before our era.
Yeah,
that was something
on the MRE website. They have like a menu, and they'll have it by like the years, like the 2007. Like they have different menus.
Oh, I know they had throwback menus.
Wow, that's cool.
Old menus are on there too. Mm-hmm.
Well, I got all the vegetarian ones because I didn't want to test out. I tried the meat ones, and I'm like, just give me the vegetarian ones, please. Thank you.
Yeah, cheese tortellini is pretty safe.
What happened?
The
I'm sorry,
MREs.
Kim.
Oh, no. What did you say, Brandy? I think you said something.
Oh no, I said cheese tortellini was it for me. Like
Oh.
that was like one of my go-tos. That and chili mac, that was pretty easy.
The chili mac, yes, the chili
Those
mac.
are my favorites: cheese tortellini and chili mac.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And those had
Least
extra
favorite.
candy in them too.
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to have the candy, so I'm like, I don't have any Skittles. I'm like hoarding the Skittles,
Right.
and the peanut butter packets.
Right.
Lived off those things.
Like the crackers, the bread, it's basically like a loaf of bread, like just compressed into like
The
one biscuit.
You know, those things were like 3,000 calories, right? And they had us eating that, right?
Yeah, it's like
Multiple of those a day.
yeah,
It was ridiculous.
it's just like the salt alone. Like,
Right. Salt alone. I'm like, how did we live? I didn't eat all of this, so that's probably the only reason why. Like,
oh, a lot of y'all had real high blood pressure. I know that.
right?
Because I had to
we
do
all have
it.
high blood pressure when we're older. We can blame them for that one.
Right. And put that on the disability.
Thank you. High blood pressure.
I'm already related.
Get my back pay.
Right. I need my back pay for like 30 years. Thank
Right.
you.
When are they going to have that posted? We're like, were you affected by MREs? Claim now.
Doing water one now. Yeah, that's gonna be soon.
Oh gosh.
Hey, we survived.
Right.
did.
Yeah, we did.
We made
We're
it.
alive, kind of, almost, somewhat.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, like 2/3 of me is like the leg's dead, but the rest of me's alive, but it's attached. I
Oh,
don't know
girl,
how
I
to
got
count.
some issues. Look, I got some issues too. You can't see them, but I got some.
Right.
Things, believe me. So we all got some
It's
stuff.
not visible, but they're there.
Very much, very much.
Yep.
I just make the most out of the ones that are visible on me. I don't mean to. I can't hide them very well anyway. I tried for many years, but I was never very good at it. So when people would see it, they'd always freak out. But I'm excited, like just like everything that you guys are doing. Like I love seeing how everybody's supporting everybody. Do you guys feel that women should be supporting other women? In your opinions?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
More.
Like,
I think more.
I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, without my models, I'm like, I cannot have a fashion show. It's like I need the people, like I can make full collections, but if I don't have a team, then nothing will happen.
Right.
You would have a fashion movie.
Which you're really good at, though, because that one clip that we
It
showed
is.
the last time we were in there, I was like, that's so cool. Like, there's
Watch that, like
music and stuff, but you still need the models for it. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same. Like I can make a full collection, but once I put on the models, I feel like they brings them to life. So it's
yeah.
I think especially with women, right? I feel like with our sisters, I feel like we have so much diversity. With all the things that you guys are doing, just in these four of us, right? It's amazing, and I feel like empowering one another. It makes us stronger, and I feel like it motivates me. What you guys are
absolutely.
doing.
And so, Catalina, so I know that you are our sewing expert, no question. So what is there like a hack that maybe you want to share with anybody around the holidays that maybe like if their pants aren't fitting right or something like to adjust, like a hack that may help, around the holiday cookies, that add up a little bit. I've been guilty myself. I'm like, ugh.
I always buy clothes that stretch because I'm like, I know if I'm gonna eat a lot, I'm gonna still look functional and normal.
So when she said that, the first thing that popped in my head was sweatpants.
Yeah.
Sweatpants all the way. No matter. They're going to fit regardless. If you get bigger or smaller, they're going to fit.
Yep.
I love that. I'm sorry. That's why I was laughing because as soon as she asked that was the thought that popped in my head. Sweatpants.
Like
That's my thoughts also, but I was like,
I have a question.
emergency feast pants. Yes. I'm sorry.
Do you do embroidery like on hoodies or shirts?
No,
Oh.
that's a specialty. So there's companies that do the screen print or like they do the embroidery. That's like a specialty itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long does it take on average for you to make a dress from start to finish? Like if you had a good amount of time?
So usually it depends on the dress and also depends how motivated I am, right? If I'm in the zone, if
That's
I'm
fair.
happy, like when I was making the menswear collection for my fashion show in Hollywood, I was kind of like under pressure. I feel like being a veteran, we work very well under pressure.
Yep.
The day before the show, I was still making garments, so I would just wanted to make sure they look good. And I was making like for that week, I was making like 2 a day because I wanted to make sure that we're like on point, and also because I wanted to make it seem like it was a variety of designs, not just kind of like the same. So on average, it takes me about like it could take me from 3-4 hours to all day, or depending the how elaborated it is, or like if it's like a couture gown, same thing. Depends on the length of the dress, the details I'm gonna be adding, or the kind of fabric that I'm working. Like when I was making the teddy bear dress, I had to I made the dress, right, and then I had to glue each and every teddy bear. So it took me some time just to kind of like add that to it.
What was the total amount of teddy bears? Like 10,000 or something? It felt like it was 10,000. Like the bag looked like it. I don't know.
183.
183. It's dressed completely made of teddy bears.
Yeah.
And we could post it. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see this.
I want to see that.
I know.
I think you look good on it.
It probably would fit her too.
Yeah.
Perfect size. She was strutting it too. I could see her. Hold on.
That is so cool.
Wait, it's like the wave. Wait, how do you master the wave? Like I think I'm messing it up. Like what's like the secret? Or
Nothing. You can do it. It's your preference. Like when I was in grade, I was just like, hi. But it's kind of like I'm like, I don't care. But it's you kind of want to do it this way, because when they take the photos, you want it to look, you don't want to look like this. Right? Right? It's more graceful. So it's kind of
she's already got it down. She's like,
yeah.
You can tell, like, right? She does.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So are you trying to hire me for a job? I'd come out and model some of your attire.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to come out to California.
I know. I've been telling Brandon, we got to come to San Antonio. I fell in love with San Antonio, so I'm just looking for an excuse to go there.
There you go. So we can come to San Antonio. I can model your outfits, and then I can model your makeup. See, look at that. Win-win. You got a model right here. See, look.
Yeah. Hey, Kim's in Houston. She's not far.
There you go. How far is Houston from
3 hours.
San Antonio?
3 hours, yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Nice.
That's a lot closer than DC. So
Yeah, definitely closer. I mean, it's Texas driving. It feels like it's forever, but no, it's actually pretty close. But definitely, we'll have to have everybody come back on again. I absolutely appreciate you guys coming on site and just cutting up with me a bit. And before we did close up tonight, I'd like to hear final thoughts from you ladies. Catalina, did you want to start us off?
I just want to tell everyone to enjoy the holidays and make the most of this year. Close the year strong and get ready to start 2023 with all your energy and all your potential.
Yeah, just piggyback off of that, kind of what I said before. Do things that bring you peace. Do things that make you happy, and don't feel so pressured by society to be something that you're not.
I love that. Well, of course, I have to bring up my book. If you guys haven't had a chance to, please check it out. Spread the word, tell others, because you'll never know how many people are suffering in silence because they just need someone to show that caring heart, show that they're there for them. So my book's no longer silent. Check the website out. If you want to talk to me personally, shoot me an email. I'm here for you.
Well, thank you absolutely so much, ladies. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, and I can't wait to have you guys back on and some future fun events next year. Definitely some fun collabs, it sounds like, in the making, and definitely keep us up to date with your announcements so we can share anything for you guys. But we'll have Aurelia take us away. Take us away, Aurelia.
Hi, I'm Aurelia. Just a reminder, smash like, hit subscribe, and click the bell. Please give me my mommy some hearts. Yay, veterans!
Oh, I love that. It's so cute. Oh, well, thank you.
All right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. You have a good night. Like I always say, be good or be good at it.